Hey guys, welcome. I'm going to tell you a paranormal story that happened to me many years ago after my dad passed away. Actually, it was exactly 3 months after my dad passed away. So, many things happened actually. I just want to say really quickly many things happened after my dad passed away in 2010 that I would be more than happy to tell stories about because they were all just so amazing. But here's the first one I'd like to share. So, my dad passed away at 57 years old, and he had a sudden, massive heart attack at work, and basically, he died right on the spot. It was immediate. Um, Obviously, with all the devastation and everything afterwards. Now, 3 months later, me, my mom, and my aunt were all sitting in my mom's kitchen. And let me tell you, this is crazy, but it is 100% true. Now, my mom lives in a bungalow, so everything is on one level. And my dad's old cell phone, well, not his old cell phone, but the cell phone he was using until he passed away, was turned off and in the kitchen cupboard. And we were just sitting there talking. And for some reason, we were on the topic of the day that my dad passed away. And I don't remember now, all these years later, what exactly we were talking about, but I do remember what happened next. We were talking about what was his last phone call or text message, and we were very curious about that. So my mom was like, well, I'll get his phone, and we were all like, oh, for sure it's gonna have to be charged because it's been sitting in the cupboard for 3 months. So she goes in the kitchen cupboard and she gets my dad's cell phone. And she takes it out of the cupboard and she brings it over to the table where we're all sitting having coffee, hands it to me, and I go to power it on to see if there's any life in it at all. Sure enough, there is, that was already shocking enough, okay? So then I turn it on, it comes all the way on, and the phone rings right in my hand. We all look at each other like, what the hell? My heart started racing in my chest because it scared me. We were certainly not expecting this phone to ring, let alone even have any battery life after being turned off since my dad's passing 3 months prior and being put in the kitchen cupboard. It literally rings in my hand. It scares the crap out of me. Like I said, we all stare at each other for a second. And my aunt goes, answer it. So I hit the button reluctantly and I go, hello? And I hear a man go, he sounded like he was in a truck. Like you could hear like the echoey outside, whatever. My dad was a flatbed tow truck driver for a company that was working for the police for crash sites. And I hear a man's voice say, hey, somebody from there just called me. And I'm like, no. And he goes, yeah, someone from that number, from this number just called me. And I'm like, no, absolutely not. And he's like, yes. He goes, I was working at a site. I was out of my truck for a minute. I came back in and I had a missed call from this number 3 minutes ago. Now I have it on speaker, and me and my mom and my aunt are all just staring at this phone. And I look up at their faces. I can't even describe to you the shock and questioning and everything that was on their faces. But imagine how I feel, because I'm like, so I said to him, listen, sir, I said, you don't understand. There's no way anybody could have called you from this phone because it's literally been in a cupboard, turned off completely for 3 months. It belonged to my dad, who passed away 3 months ago, and we literally just turned it on to see if it still worked and yada yada yada. And the man literally says, oh, I recognize this number. And he says, is this? And he says, my dad's name. Is this his phone? And we all look at each other like, and I go, yes, that's my dad. This is his phone. And he says, oh, oh my gosh. He goes, I'm so sorry for your loss. He goes, I worked with him. I'm his coworker. And we're all like, what? Oh my God. And he's like, yeah. He goes, but I promise you, this phone number just called me. Like, not even 5 minutes ago. That's why I'm calling you back right now. And we all just like sat there in amazement. And I said to him again, I said, sir, like, I'm not lying. I promise you. Like, nobody called, like, this isn't like a weird crank call thing. Like, we literally just took this out of the cupboard. We were having a conversation about who could have been the last phone call on my dad's phone. And no sooner did I turn it on, after literally being off for 3 months and untouched, and the second it powered up, it rang in my hand and it was you. And he was like, huh, well, it looks like somebody was trying to get a hold of me. And he chuckles. And we kind of nervously laugh, like, okay, you know? And he's like, well, this was an amazing story. And we're like, yeah, this is pretty amazing. And he goes, make sure you tell everybody. I will too. And I was like, okay, we will for sure. And we hung up the phone. And we all just sat there for a minute. And, you know, we couldn't help but kind of smile. But also, we were in total and complete shock. And I don't know. I don't know how or why that particular person. We'll never know. But that's wild. It's wild that happened. But that's not the only thing that happened. I have so many stories about really, really amazing things that happened after my dad passed away. Let me tell you something. My dad was larger than life when he was alive. So once he reached that spirit world, it was never anything scary, but my oh my, do I have stories. So I'm going to tell more stories. I also have other stories of other paranormal things that happened that had nothing to do with family members. So that's what I want to do. I want to share them with you guys, because how else am I going to tell them? I do lashes and nails. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do lashes and I'm going to do nails. I can't really do it when I'm doing a pedicure. Well, I guess I could do a voiceover on a pedicure, but I don't know. Or a facial, I don't know. But I think I would prefer to just do it on videos of lashes or nails. And I will share some of my paranormal experiences with you guys. So this is the first one that I chose to share. It's not the first thing that happened after my dad passed away. Things began happening immediately. Like, literally within the first 48 hours after my dad passed away, something really huge happened, and there was tons of eyewitnesses, and there was no denying that this was totally something that my dad was doing to get our attention. But I will save that for the next video because I just want to share these stories with you guys. But obviously, I want to space them out. So now you know the very first story that I want to share about the cell phone to the other side in the cupboard. Wasn't that wild? Has anything like that ever happened to any of you guys? Maybe it wasn't a cell phone, maybe it was a home line, an old school pager, something. Like, did something ever go off or say that somebody say that they got a phone call like well after someone was passed away? Because I mean, that really amazed us. And we did tell as many people as we could that would listen, but who knows if those people even remember it by now, you know what I mean? But I'm glad to share this story with you guys because the only three people in that kitchen, like I said, was me, my mom, and my aunt. And my mom and my aunt are also gone now. So I'm the last one here to tell that story. So I thought I'd share it with you guys here today on YouTube. I hope you enjoyed that story and stay tuned for more to come in the near future. Thank you for listening. And as for what I'm doing with these nails right here, this lady here works with her hands. She has a job that is very rough on her hands. She likes very, very short French nails and usually gets the white tips, but this time she wanted me to pre-paint the tips red and then put them on, and then I, of course, after preparation, filled it in with the amazing Recess gel system from CND and sealed it with Beetles No Wipe Top Coat, and that red is also from the Beetles Gel Polish collection. And of course, as always, all tools are packaged for each individual and then put directly into the high-level disinfectant right after the service. So, fresh and ready for a new week at work. And yeah, loving those shorties with the red tips. I think I'm going to do some French tips on myself. It has literally been years since I've worn French tips. I'll do mine longer though. I know she can't, but I will definitely do mine longer. And that right there is me beginning to do cleanup so that I can put on her cuticle oil and take pictures. And at the end of this video, you will see a photo of the final result. So like I said, I hope you enjoyed this video and stay tuned for more because my oh my, I have some stories to tell you guys. But yeah, this was definitely the one that I wanted to start out with because I thought it was pretty cool. They're all pretty cool, but I don't know. I just felt for this one today. So again, like I said, stay tuned for more videos of nails and paranormals. Adios.